That's right, brothers and sisters. You heard it here. God is not suffering from schizophrenia. His words, his actions, his behavior, his character, his thoughts, they all line up and they don't contradict one another. Why am I saying this? Well, this happens a lot in the church where people will say, God told me this or God told me that. You know, a lot of times we hear and we have heard stories of women saying, God told me that was my husband, or God told me, men saying, God told me that was my wife. And the people that they're talking about, they're already married. Well, brothers and sisters, the Most High is not going to contradict his word for you. If it violates his word, his 10 commandments, then God did not tell you that. It may be out of your own desire that you're hearing these things, but that's not the same as God's. You can't name and claim someone else's husband. You know, 1 Corinthians 14:33 declares that God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. Hallelujah. And I don't know if you all know, but something like that can cause a lot of confusion. In John 10:4-5, it tells us when he puts out his sheep from the sheep pen and goes before them and they follow him because they know his voice. And a stranger they will not follow, but they will flee the voice of a stranger because they're not acquainted with his voice. They don't know the voice of a stranger. So if you're hearing things like that, chances are it is the voice of a stranger. It's not the voice of the Most High. Hallelujah. And again, he would not tell you anything that's going to contradict his 10 commandments, his word. Hallelujah. So remember, the next time you hear a voice, compare it to the word. You know, a lot of people say, well, once someone pulls that God card, it's hard to dispute it, but it's not. Again, if you line it up against the word, if it don't fit, you got to quit. Hallelujah. And understand that God is not suffering from schizophrenia. He is not schizophrenic. Hallelujah.